Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Purple and Rose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight is Love and Astrology Night. We're going to talk about the Leo new moon. Guys, please remember we are multi streaming, so we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch all at the same time. Should have a video playing. I see everyone starting to come in. Welcome, Sandra. I pull my notes up. So, guys, something interesting is currently happening. I'm actually out at the lake tonight. I wanted to do tonight's Leo new moon reading out here. And right as I parked and get ready and set up for my live, a huge storm is blowing through. And when I say huge, I mean, wow. A thunderstorm, lightning across the lake. The wind is vicious, right? I wish I could give you guys a video, but it's too dark. You wouldn't be able to see it. But I caught the sunset, and I mean, what talk about perfect timing, right? Divine timing. Welcome. Sandra's with us. Vanessa's with us. Welcome, Vanessa. Vanessa's joining us over on Facebook. Guys, Vanessa is our new moderator over on Facebook. I know we all miss Michelle. We still have Michelle, and she'll be with us from time to time. Amanda joining us. Welcome, ladies. So, I guess the first, it's really interesting because I had a super calm, peaceful day. I want to share something with you guys about my peace that I hope is inspiring. But I find it pretty interesting that I come out here to do the live, and I did have some technical difficulties as well. It was just like a bunch of things that I feel like back in the day, Rosa would have been like, yeah, I'm just gonna cancel it. We'll do it a different day, and I'm just gonna enjoy my time, right? But yeah, no, we're gonna do the live. I have so much exciting information to share with you about Leo new moon. I do feel that there has been a shift in the energies, right? Ladies, let me know. Sound is okay. I have my little mic hooked up, but I'm not actually hooked up to it. I don't want to be attached to the cord. But yeah, like super peaceful day. Here's my thing that I want to share with everybody. Are you guys ready? Um, Yesterday I painted my nails. Yesterday I painted my nails. And I know that some of you hear me say that and you're just like, so what? What's that mean? um, but I want you to know that I've been wearing the falsies, right? Thank you, Sandra. I've been wearing the fake nails, and not the expensive ones or anything like that. To say that my finances have went through a review in the last year would be a understatement, right? But just like the little $5 ones that you get at the dollar store, I like use the different designs. But if you know me, you've been watching me for a long period of time, then you'll remember that I used to do my own nails, right? Like I used to paint my own nails. And I guess about 2.5 years ago, I noticed that my hands were shaking. And I honestly thought that it was, age, nervous system, right? I'd been through a lot of trauma in my life, right? And so I honestly thought that, that's what it was. And as many of you know, I was, in a challenging relationship for the last 5 years, and that I'm, no longer in. And there was these periods of time where we would split up, and I would, run off to my sisters and stay there for, a few months at a time. I'm sure you guys remember, right? um, but my hands never stopped shaking. Like they never ever stopped. It did go down. It was less, but it was like this internal tremor that I had. It was like I was shaking on the inside. And then it was just kind of so strong that it would come out on the outside. Does that make sense? Don't leave me hanging. Like I can't be the only one. But I feel like something's happened. I don't know. Like something has happened in the last 4 to 6 weeks. um, that has really kind of given me this like type of conviction, I guess. And I definitely feel like it's, it could definitely be Saturn in Aries, right? We all know that Saturn moved into Aries, and Saturn is the planet of discipline. So it's definitely helping me like get into alignment, less keep kicking and screaming, right? Um, and I do feel like we're on the, I want to use this fancy word, but I feel like I'm not going to say it right. But we're kind of just like on the top of this mountain, and we're just fixing to like cross over the horizon type of energy. And I do feel like so many of us are experiencing so many different tests, from the universe. And you could be feeling like you're just being tested all the time. And I honestly feel that for those of you that are integrating, implementing, grounding yourself, right? You're taking the information that you gained from your spiritual awakening, and you're using it in your everyday 3D physical life, right? I feel like you're just flying through these tests, just like me, right? Like it's nothing shakes me. It's like, and I feel like the more that nothing shakes me, the more that things try. I don't know. But instead of like, I don't freaking out about it and like getting upset about it, I'm definitely, there's this shift where it's like now I see it as this opportunity, something else that I'm going to overcome, something else that's going to make me stronger, wiser, braver, all the things, right? So, guys, when I say I haven't painted my nails for 2.5 years, is I was shaking so bad I just couldn't. I used to like to do all the little designs and all the artwork, right? And people would be like, "Oh my gosh, where do you get your nails done, Rosa?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I did them myself," And I was so proud of that. But when my hands started shaking, definitely had to stop painting my nails. I to say I was heartbroken, is again an understatement. But I started buying those fake nails, and everybody was like, "Oh, they're cute too." You know what I mean? So I just kind of let it go. Um, a couple of days ago, I was sitting in my room at my son's house. I was reading one of my tarot books, and I went to turn the page, and I noticed that my hands weren't shaky, and it just kind of, I don't know, it caught my attention. It freaked me out a little bit. I started, like, I put the book down. I started raising my hands in front of my face, and it was just solid. There was no shake. There was no vibration. There was no internal shaking. And then that's when I realized I'm healing. I'm not going to cry. um, but yeah, like I'm healing. It's pretty cool to see like physical proof. Everything we do in this, it's called a spiritual awakening for a reason, right? um, so yeah, to be able to see like, I don't know, proof. It was pretty cool, right? I didn't mean to cry. I don't know. That's what I do, guys. I cry. That's the thing. And I'm gonna recommend it to everyone, 10 out of 10, because it helps you get all the ick out. You know what I'm saying? Like it helps you um release, I guess. And let's talk about that because this is new moon, but I just watched this video about the full moon. I was actually studying about the moon card, um, and the lady was talking about the full moon, and she was talking about how that's when we release things like people, places, things. Guys, that is, we really need to learn the different lunar phases, and we really need to understand what those phases mean and what they do. And if we went back and studied, like, back in the ancient, like, pyramid times, right? If you go back to like the Egyptians, you'll see that they use these lunar phases to do specific things. And, sadly, people believe that the full moon is where you release people and places and things that you don't, want to deal with anymore. And then what happens is a week later, they realize they're still dealing with that energy. And they're like, oh, well, that shit doesn't work. And it's not that that shit doesn't work. It's just that you're not using the tools properly. Right. So a full moon is actually a culmination. It's the end of the lunar cycle, and it's supposed to be like a celebration period, like a period when you look at everything you've done since the new moon, and you celebrate and congratulate yourself and pat yourself on the back for how far you've come, right? And then the waning moon, which is what comes after the full moon, that's when if you do release anything in the full moon, it's going to be like negative thoughts, bad habits, things that you do to yourself, right? And then the waning moon is when you're going to release like people, places, and things. I genuinely believe that this last lunar phase we went through has helped me do just that. And I do believe that that has something to do with why my hands stopped shaking. I released something massive, right? Like something that had a grip on me that I can't even describe in words. But now, tonight, we're going to talk about the Leo new moon because, again, I do feel that this is like some type of shift in energy. This is like, ooh, it's thundering, guys. You might hear it, it's pretty loud. But this is like this energy where if you can integrate, if you can start implementing the things you've learned through your spiritual awakening, you're about to fly. You're about to get through things that you probably never thought you would be able to get through. And I mean, I don't want to come out here and be like, oh, the energy is shifting, guys, and, rainbows and unicorns are going to fall out of the sky and life's just going to get easier, because that would just be a lie, right? That wouldn't be helpful. That I wouldn't be of any service, right? I do too, Sandra. I do too. So I'm coming out here and I'm telling you this information so that you can integrate it and implement it into your everyday life. And that includes the challenges that we experience every single day, right? Every single day. So again, not coming out here with any foo-foo la-la, pretending like we don't have any problems and life's just super easy all the time. Because that's not the case. It's not the case for any single person on this planet. Okay, I don't care how much you have or you don't have. Everyone experiences challenges every single day, right? But if you can integrate and implement and really fine tune your spiritual practices, I mean, I don't know. I experienced so many challenges today and I'm super calm. Like I didn't have any issue. And like I said, normally, old Rosa would have just been like cancel, reschedule. I don't want to deal with it. And it's not like it was really hard to deal with either. I want to say that too. Like a few adjustments and, you know, here we are, right? All right, so let's talk Leo new moon. Guys, the Leo new moon is going to come in on July 24th. This is my grandson's new moon. My youngest grandson was born on Leo new moon almost a year ago. My son and my daughter-in-law are planning his first birthday party. How exciting that is. And I can't tell you the gratitude, how grateful I am to be able to experience all of these things that are happening right now. I didn't get to do this with my other two grandchildren. And I'm not even going to go there because I'll just cry again. But I'm just saying, I'm so excited for this first birthday party and for this Leo new moon. And the Leo energy is very vibrant, it's very creative and expressive, right? But it's amplified by that fiery playfulness that comes with Leo energy. Leo energy is very heart centered nature. I just realized, Jenna, this is your new moon. I love it. But okay, so since new moons symbolize new beginnings, remember? So full moons is a culmination from the new moon to the full moon, but the new moon is the beginning, the start. This is when you're going to set your intentions for what it is that you want to come in the next 28 days, right? This one particularly is going to be potent because it's going to be reigniting. I want you to pay attention to that word, okay? Reigniting. Remember, we have all these planets in retrograde. So it's reigniting our passions. It's going to help us embrace our authenticity, and it's going to help us step into our leadership roles with confidence. That's the Leo new moon coming in on July 24th. Guys, I want to mention this Leo new moon is at 2 degrees. So not only do you want to pull your personal charts out and you want to look to see like where is Leo for you? What house is Leo in for you? Because that's going to give you, some more information. And I'm going to break down the rising signs here in just a moment. But you also want to see what planets on your entire chart do any of those placements fall at 2 degrees? Because that can also give you some hints and clues, right? Help you navigate this journey that we call life using your own birth chart. So remember, 2 degrees. All right, so here's the key themes of this new moon. It's heart-centered creativity and playfulness, because Leo again rules the heart, so it's joy, self-expression, and this new moon is going to encourage reconnecting with your inner child, letting go of self consciousness and embracing spontaneity, because Leo is all about fun, adventure, and being spontaneous. The collective may feel a strong urge to create, to perform, or to share their talents. You can definitely expect some bold moves in art, entertainment, and even personal branding. I'm actually working on new t-shirts, guys, new merch for our PLR shop. I just got to link, we're monetized, right, on the platform. So I just got to be able to link my shop over on YouTube and into like all my shorts so I can sell my t-shirts and my cups and all of that stuff. But I realized like I made all of this merch almost 5 years ago. Like I'm ready for new merch. I've got some really cool designs laid out. I haven't put anything out just yet. We're definitely going to have like a big, new merch party type of thing. But rebranding is something that you're going to see happening all around you right now. All right, confidence and leadership, because Leo is the sign of kings, leaders, and performers. So this energy supports stepping into your power with courage and charisma. The collective may see strong personalities emerging at this time. This could be in politics, social movements, or even pop culture. I want you, of course, to pay attention to the politics, right? Guys, we have to be informed. I don't want you to overdo, but it is important that we are informed. I just need a joke. I was talking to my boss and I was telling her, I said, like I can tell that there's this shift in energy, and I feel like the next 6 months of the year, of the last half of the year, is definitely going to be, I don't know, better, right? Like we're going to get through it a lot smoother than we did the first part of the year. Again, doesn't mean that there's going to be less problems or, unicorns are going to fall out of the sky, nothing like that. I just think that we're going to get through the energy smoother. We're going to start cutting through the things that have been trying to block us, and you're really going to start to see that in the politics. But I made the joke. I was like, as long as we don't watch the news, right? Like as long as we stay off the TV, then everything should go smoothly, right? But again, it's important that we are informed. And again, it's important that we don't overdo. I feel like with Saturn and Aries, we're not going to have that problem. I feel like I used to really have struggle with my time management. I'm not saying that I don't still struggle with time management, but I can feel and like I've leveled up in some type of way, right? Kind of like the hands not shaking anymore, right? All right, so The challenge with oh, I'm sorry. The next thing I have is drama and ego check. That's going to be this new moon energy as well. So Leo shadow can bring like attention seeking behavior, pride, conflicts over recognition, that type of energy. So the challenge will be balancing your self expression with humility and avoiding any unnecessary ego battles at this time. All right, let's talk about the romance and passion part of the Leo new moon. So Leo rules again, romance and pleasure. And this is going to be a great time to rekindle love, flirt, or start a creative, passionate project. Um, the collective may see more public displays of affection, grand romantic gestures, even celebrity relationships could be making bigger headlines than normal. All right, so how the collective may be impacted. With the social cultural shifts, expect trends that emphasize individuality, bold fashion, and dramatic storytelling. This is theater, film, and music. Have you guys heard of the new Superman movie? I gotta go see it, right? Political and public figures. Leaders may use charismatic speeches or dramatic tactics to sway the public's opinion at this time. So pay attention to that as well. Online presence. People may feel more inclined to showcase their lives. So more viral moments, TikTok trends, or influencer drama. Pay attention to that. I try to stay away from the influencer drama myself. Protests and movements. So if injustices are felt, which I feel like much of the world feels this way, Leo energy could fuel some fiery demonstrations demanding recognition at this time. All right, so here's going to be the best way to harness this energy. You want to embrace your play and creativity. Try a new hobby, dance, paint, write, or perform. Anything that sparks joy. Revisit childhood joys like certain games that you like, cartoons that you used to watch, any playful activity. That's going to be Leo energy. I have been writing in my journal more, and I've also started painting. I really want to get more into the painting. I actually started it at work. It was a craft that we had to do for an activity, and I just found this really weird like sense of calmness while I was painting. And so now it's like, oh my gosh, I want to do it all the time, right? I'm not saying that I'm a very good painter. I'm definitely like color between the lines, you know what I'm saying? But I'm enjoying it, and I want to see like, what more can I do with that particular um, skill or hobby, right? All right, so another way to harness Leo new moon energy is going to be stepping into your power. You want to own your talents at this time. So share your work, speak up, and take on leadership roles. A good affirmation here could be I am confident, creative, and magnetic. Remember the magnetic part. All right, also express love and appreciation. So give heartfelt compliments, plan romantic dates, or reconnect with your loved ones. If you're single, are you ready? Flirt boldly. Leo loves admiration. All right, release self doubt and inhibition. So journal. Where are you holding back? Um, Out of fear, like where could you go further or do more, but something is, something that you're scared of is holding you back. How can you express yourself more freely? There's some journal prompts for you. You can, of course, when you write these things down, you can burn them, you can bury them. That can give like symbolic release energy with this new moon. You can set Leo themed intentions, of course, because remember, that's what we do with new moon energy. So you want to focus on things like confidence, creativity, leadership, romance, joy, and again, recognition. An example could be I attract opportunities to shine authentically. All right, let's see. astrological aspects to watch for, okay? So how this new moon is lining up with other planets out in the cosmos, right? So Uranus, which is unexpected breakthroughs, and Jupiter, which is about expansion. There's an aspect to both of these. So these effects could be cause like the new moon energy to be even more dramatic. Sandra says flirt. I don't even know how anymore. I don't either, right? Like I don't know. I'm at the stage where it's like I don't even want to see people. You know what I'm saying? I made this shorts today that took off because it's so true, right? It's like you people, you socialize for a couple of hours, and it's like I got to go hermit mode for like 3 days now, right? All right, here's the last thing I want to say about this new moon. So, the new moon is going to be for boldness, joy, and fearless self expression. The collective is going to feel a push towards more passion, drama, and creativity. So, lean into what makes you feel alive, seen, and proud. All right, let's break down all the rising signs. Are you guys ready? I'm going to start with Aries rising. So, if you're an Aries rising, this is going to affect your fifth house, creativity, romance, pleasure. And the themes here are going to be a burst of creative energy. This is perfect for starting an art project, again, dating, reconnecting with joy, happiness. Actions that you can take here is going to be important that you are open to taking risks in love, performing, or indulging in fun activities with this Leo new moon. You guys should see the lightning strike that just went on the lake. Oh my goodness. All right. So if you're a Taurus rising, the Leo new moon is going to impact your fourth house. So this is all about your home, family, and inner security. So this is heart centered home life energy. You want to renovate, host gatherings, heal family dynamics with warmth with Leo new moon. Decorate your space, express love to your family, or start a passionate project at home. All right. Gemini rising. If you're a Gemini rising, Leo new moon is going to impact your third house. And this is about communication, learning, and siblings. So the themes here are going to be expressive communication. You want to write, speak, share ideas with confidence. You could start a blog, record videos, or reconnect with your siblings in a playful way. If you're a Cancer rising like me, this is going to impact our second house. So, this is all about our finances, values, and self worth. So, valuing your talents is going to be important. This is what this new moon is going to highlight for you. Charge your worth with this energy as well. Invest in things that you're passionate about and treat yourself at this time if you are a Cancer rising. Monetize a hobby, update your look, or here's an affirmation: I deserve abundance. Cancer rising. All right, Diana joins us. Welcome, Diana. If you're a Leo rising, this is going to impact your first house. So, this is about the self, identity, and new beginnings. A powerful personal rebirth, if you will. You can reinvent yourself with this new moon. This will help you boost your confidence and help you shine. You want to set bold intentions, update your image, or step into leadership with this new moon. All right, Virgo rising. If you're a Virgo rising, the Leo new moon is going to impact your 12th house. And this is all about your subconscious, spirituality, healing. So, some themes here could be creative healing, really, because think of things like art therapy, dream work, releasing self criticism, right? Remember, I said the full moon was when we release habits. I know that we're setting intentions. You want to set the intention to release the self criticism, but that's what I mean about like releasing habits, and like things that aren't serving your greater good, not necessarily people, places, or things, right? You want to journal, meditate, and engage in spiritual creative practices, Virgo rising. All right, if you're a Libra rising, So new moon is going to impact your 11th house. This is friendships, community, goals, social magnetism, networking, joining groups. You could champion a cause at this time. You want to collaborate on creative projects or reconnect with old friends, Libra rising. All right, here's my favorite. Ready? Scorpio rising. This is actually going to impact your 10th house. I'm going to say it one more time. Scorpio rising. This is going to impact your 10th house. Leo new moon is going to impact your career, reputation, and your public life. So, some themes here with the Leo new moon are going to be bold career moves. You could experience promotions, creative ventures, or stepping into the spotlight, most definitely. And some action you can take with this Leo new moon is going to be a perfect time to pitch ideas, update your portfolios, right? And definitely own your authority, Scorpio rising. All right, if you're a Sagittarius rising, the Leo new moon is going to impact your ninth house. Ninth house is all about travel, philosophy, and expansion. So, adventurous self expression is going to be the theme. Teach, travel, explore new beliefs, start a course, plan a trip, share your wisdom publicly. All right, if you're a Capricorn rising, eighth house is transformation, shared resources, intimacy. So the themes here are going to be passionate depth. You want to explore your desires, merge your finances, and release old fears, Capricorn rising. You want to initiate tough conversations with this Leo new moon, invest in creative ventures, or explore new tantras. Aquarius rising. This is going to impact your seventh house, guys. Seventh house is partnership, marriage, and contracts. So the themes here are going to be dramatic relationships. You could experience new love, rekindled passion, or renegotiating terms in a current relationship. The action you can take with this Leo new moon, this is going to be the perfect time for proposals, collaborations, but also setting boundaries with charm. And then lastly, I have Pisces rising. Pisces, this is going to impact your sixth house, health, routine, and service. So your themes are going to be joyful daily life. You want to revamp fitness, add creativity to work, or even adopt a pet with this new moon. Dance while cleaning, start a fun workout, or volunteer in a creative way. All right, guys, here's my final tips for the Leo new moon. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, you're going to feel this the most boldly. Lean into courage at this time. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you can socialize or brainstorm brilliantly with this new moon. And earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, you should ground into your creativity with this Leo new moon. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, you can channel emotions into art. All right, guys, that's what I have for Leo new moon energy. The rain is just now reaching me. The sun is just now going down under the horizon. The lightning show is brilliant. Vanessa says, sounds great for me, Aquarius rising. I love it. I love it. All right, so guys, first I'm going to do a collective reading. I am going to offer some Leo new moon readings tonight. 1 to 3 cards is what Spirit told me. I'm not sure why we've added, but whatever. Um, and of course, if anyone wants a detailed reading or you have a specific question, that is energy exchange, $10 to my Cash App or PayPal, easy cheesy. Links are always in the description box. All right, let me get comfortable. So much talking, but I got it an hour, almost 30 minutes. That's not too bad. I'm going to start out with the Sacred Traveler. Oh my gosh, there's a boat on the water, like hauling butt. Oh, I had to roll the window down because the wind. I can't imagine. Oh my gosh, when um when I worked here the first time and I was married, um my ex-husband was on the like maintenance crew. We had to do a lot of boat rescues. I can't count the times that we got caught out in rainstorms, but never in the rain and the dark. Like I feel like that would be like a little bit too much. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's gonna hit this lake and it tends to break up a little. So it always looks like if you pull it up on the radar, it always looks a little um I don't know, it's more sketchy on the other side of the lake. And then it's like once it reaches where I'm at, it tends to just be pretty minimal. It's been that way since I've moved here. So I've always found that pretty interesting. But I mean, I'm also like right next to this giant cabin. So, like, worst case scenario. All right, guys, let's look at masculine, feminine energies. Fellow travelers comes out for the masculine. Support is all around you. The rainbow is sticking out to me. I seen a rainbow not too long ago. Me and my son were out doing something. He helped me fix my car. You guys, my car is fixed. That's why I'm out and about. It's like now I can't sit still. I was stuck for a little bit because my brakes got so bad that my car was just like not at its best, and I was still driving it. I was like, I don't care. I'm still going. And so it got to where I actually couldn't go anymore, and um he fixed it for me in such a minimal amount of time. It was crazy, but yeah. Anyway, support is all around you. So for the masculine energy, remember the masculine energy is the protect and provide energy. We all have all of these energies, guys. Like we have the masculine, we have the feminine. Everybody has both, right? I always say the masculine energy is what makes you like lock your doors at night, and the feminine energy is what makes you like wash your hair in the shower, right? So we all do these things. So if you're having spiritual awakening, especially this type of spiritual awakening that I'm having, then it's like you're learning how to balance your masculine and feminine energies, right? Most of you that watch definitely correlate the masculine and feminine energies with like the person that awakened you. I'm not going to tell you if that's right or wrong or not. That's also what I do. But I feel like there's definitely times where spirit's like, hey, I need you to focus, on the internal situation. And I think that's what I'm being asked to do with this particular reading. But with the masculine energy, support is all around you. You could feel like you're fighting to protect something. You're fighting to provide for something or someone. It could just be for yourself. But there's this energy of feeling like you're out here having to do it all on your own. Like there's no one around you that I don't know, is helping, or there's no partner. It's definitely this energy of feeling like standing out there in the wind on your own. So, and there's a peacock in this particular card. So again, that's going to get strong confirmation that also represents masculine energy. So if you're out there feeling like you're struggling to do something, or you're being tested all the time and you're having to protect something all the time, understand that you're not the only one. And I know that's not always like super helpful, But I think that happens a lot in this journey as we get to feeling like we're all alone and we're the only one that's experiencing That's literally like why I had to create PLR, right? Was so that I could see that I wasn't the only person on the planet that was experiencing this. And I find it super interesting that I found all of you guys. And guys, we have people that watch PLR on all the platforms, like literally all around the world, from everywhere, places you wouldn't even think. Like in the analytics, it shows me in all the different platforms, like where everybody is watching from. So yeah, like we're everywhere. And I think the reason that people are drawn to me and PLR in general is definitely because of the type of spiritual awakening that I'm having, right? It makes you feel like, well, I always use the feeling of home, right? Like we always talk about, we have this longing to this feeling of home that we can't quite find or replace, right? And when we connect with one another, it's like we feel that energy, that home feeling. It's this really comfortable feeling like we've known each other our whole lives, right? But we haven't, right? It's just been as long as I've been doing PLR. And I'm not saying I'm the only person that you feel this with. Anybody that connects with you and in this way that's connected to your spiritual awakening is going to have that home feeling, right? So if you correlate the masculine energy, like if you resonate with divine feminine and you correlate your masculine energy with the person who awakened you, then that definitely could ring true, right? There's some type of comfort, I guess, in knowing that you're not having to do something on your own. All right, for the feminine energy, I have all is possible, choosing your path. So on the all is possible card, there's this energy of you're at the ledge of something. You're like, it's like you're, like I was saying earlier, like you're at the top of that mountain and you're fixing to go over the horizon. And it's this energy of a clean slate. You've detached from everything. I just felt that. I know I have. But it is this strong energy of you've detached. You've broken away from things that are karmic or things that were no longer um, serving the greater good, right? Bridging energy comes out. Solitude, it did come out in reverse, which I'm finding interesting. It says, in silence, peace prevails. Um, Again, I find that interesting because I feel like a lot of us have been in this solitude. And I feel like a lot of us feel like something is coming or something is on its way. Like we're about to be put out there in the open, I guess. Do you guys feel that too? It's like we have this energy like something's coming, something is building. And this time of solitude that we've had, um, I love that in silence, peace prevails, because that's definitely what's happened. It's like the more I was in solitude, just literally staying home as much as possible, except for my part-time job, which we all know how spirit feels about that, right? I definitely can say, I talked about it at the beginning of the live, right? My hand stopped shaking. So peace does prevail. But I do feel that all of this solitude that we've been experiencing and all this energy of learning of how to find our peace and how to, um, I guess, implement it, right? Into our everyday life, like hold on to that peace through challenging times, has definitely been the lesson. And again, I feel like it's been some type of buildup because we're going to go through more challenges and obstacles, and we're going to need to be able to find that peace in those moments. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, I'm going to clarify a little bit. I'm actually going to use the Magic of the Unicorn Tarot. I haven't used them in a while. Wes, hello. Sandra says, as long as I'm not naked and afraid, I say bring it on. Oh my goodness. All right, let's clarify a little bit. Let's look at that masculine energy. Remember, fellow travelers. So masculine energy feels like they're trying to protect something or provide something, and they could feel like they're being tested, like they're having to do something on their own, like they're kind of standing out there in the wind type of energy. King of Swords comes out. So King of Swords is authenticity. It's having to speak truth. So that could be what's happening to the divine masculine. This energy of feeling like I have to say my truth. I have to speak my truth about something or someone. Or it could even be, for some of these divine masculines, it could be this energy of having to face some hard truths, right? The Hanged Man comes out. It's Pisces energy. It's actually the hanged unicorn, right? Um, but this energy is of I'm afraid to make a move because I'm scared that if I challenge something or if I face something that I fear, then I'm gonna lose something, right? That's the energy of the hanged man. It's like I'm gonna stay stuck or frozen. Um, And I think that could be the truth that they're having to face, that the divine masculine is having to face. So, if you resonate with divine masculine energy, if you're looking at your own internal divine masculine energy, where have you kept yourself stuck? Where have you kept yourself frozen? Where have you been in fear of making any type of move because you're in fear of losing something? The lightning show on this lake is wicked. The Queen of Pentacles comes out. So that's the where. So for divine masculine, the Queen of Pentacles is learning to become your own resource. This could be about your job. This could be about understanding. There comes a point in your awakening where you realize that you can't. I don't know how am I going to say this. I was going to say you can't keep working for the man. um, and I mean that's the honest truth about it, but I just don't know how to say that in like mm, a practical way, I guess. Um, if your job that you go to Monday through Friday doesn't allow you to follow your purpose, to integrate your purpose into your everyday life, then you get to this point where you get pushed out, right? That's what happens. Um, I always used to say at the beginning of my spiritual awakening, I was like, I feel like spirit's dragging me by my ankles and I'm just clawing at the ground, screaming, don't take me. I'm not ready. I don't want to go. I don't want to have to do all the things, right? Um, and I'm kind of feeling that energy for divine masculine. You're having to face something. It's probably your purpose. You're probably having to face your purpose, and there's probably some type of fear that you're going to have to lose something, that you're going to have to leave something behind. It's interesting because Leo is my second house on my birth chart. Guys, your birth chart is literally like a map to help you navigate your soul's journey, right? But second house is your assets, right? Your money. And I'm finding it so interesting that I'm at this, I don't know, it's like I've restarted, like a scratch, redo, restart. Um, I only work a day and a half. I only work a day and a half out of the week now. 5 days a week is spent on PLR. And it's like, that's the way spirit wants it. That's the way it's going to be. So for divine masculine, if you're noticing yourself being pushed out when it comes to like your job or where you work or finding a job or anything like that, it's because you have to learn how to become your own resource. And you're only going to do that by following your purpose. Whatever your purpose is, whatever spirit's calling you to do, is going to cause you to lose some things. That's what I was going to say earlier. If you resonate with divine masculine energy or looking at your own internal masculine energy, which is your provider, right? The energy within you that wants to provide. Right now, Spirit is giving us some very challenging lessons in the vibrational frequency of money. Yeah. How many of you feel that? Tell me, let me know in the chat right now. Like, how many of you feel that? You are learning something about the frequency, the vibrational frequency of money. And I don't want to get into all of this because I'm not going to tell people how to live their life or what to do. I'm just going to do me. And then, I don't know. I don't know how it works for everyone else. I'm just supposed to heal me, right? But let me just say this to you one way and just think on this for a moment, especially if I'm talking to divine masculine. Ready? Think of people in the world that we know that have a lot of money. That's a really easy thing to do right now. Okay. Like this is, it's July 15th, 2025. Think of the people, let's say the billionaires of the world, right? When you think of them, when I think of them, I don't think of words like empathy. I don't think of words like understanding, compassion, unconditional love, healing. I don't think of these words when I think of like the billionaires of the world. Okay? I think of words like selfish, inconsiderate, lack empathy and compassion, right? So, unfortunately, the lesson that I'm learning right now, here comes that boat again on this lake in this storm. I cannot believe it. These people are brave. But anyway, what is happening right now, the lesson that divine masculine is getting is that money was never the answer. Money was never the answer. God was never going to allow you to vibrate at the frequency of selfishness. God was never going to allow you to vibrate at the frequency of just assholeness, right? It just wasn't going to happen. If you're having a spiritual awakening, it's because your mind broke. Okay, let's just break it down and get to like the reality of it. Okay, it's a label. Spiritual awakening is a label, right? Your mind broke. In other words, you were going through life and your mind believed something a certain way. And then some trauma of some sort happened to you, whether that is divorce, whether that is loss of a family member, whether that is twin flame awakening, right? Whatever it is, right? This trauma happened. And you could have been running this whole time, trying to pretend like it didn't happen, trying to pretend like you were still the same old you, and nothing was going to change you, and you were who you are. And you could have been doing that this whole time, but you've been feeling spirit pulling you and dragging you. And the reason that spirit's able to pull and drag you is because spirit pulled you out of some type of darkness, and now there's a repayment that's due, right? There's a repayment. There's a balancing of the scales that's due. That's your purpose. And spirit is going to make things as uncomfortable for you as possible until you align with your purpose and that frequency. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not coming out here and saying, oh, you're going to be poor your whole life. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that you're not going to get your funds and your abundance from the man. You're not going to get your funds and your abundance from your 9 to 5. You're not going to get your funds and your abundance for corporate. You're not going to get your funds and abundance at any place that's taky. It's just not going to happen. You'll experience one obstacle after another until you come into alignment. And for me, apparently, that's a day and a half. I'm allowed to do a day and a half. So PLR is what gives me the means. When you get readings, when you get journals, when we exchange energy like this, like you're watching my live, my little video that I made for you guys. You're listening to my Leo new moon energy, and this collective reading, and YouTube and Facebook is going to send me a paycheck at the end of the month, right? Divine masculine is being forced into some type of alignment that has to do with purpose. Of course. It was a barge. It's a barge, you guys. It's not just a boat out in the middle of a rainstorm. It was earlier though, I promise. The barges are pretty significant to my journey. All right, so that was divine masculine. Have mercy. Divine feminine, choosing your path, all is possible. So standing on some ledge, ready to take some type of leap of faith, completely removed yourself, not attached to anything. Six of Swords comes out. That's you following your guidance. It's you hearing spirit. It's surrender is what it is. I used to get the Six of Swords a lot in my own personal readings, and it wasn't me surrendering. It was spirit saying, Rosa, I need you to listen. I need you to listen, and I need you to do this thing. And Rosa, I'm like, no, I want to do it my way. And I would, do it my way. And then the waters would be choppy and things would be difficult. And I would be upset and wouldn't understand how come I wasn't able to, like how come the road wasn't smoother. The reason that you've been able to break free from whatever had a hold of you, divine feminine, whatever had a grip on you, is because you started following the guidance, is because you started hearing spirit. The strength card comes out. I'm reading this book. It's actually an old book. I was moving some stuff around Um, Whenever I have to move, it seems like, and when I was in that relationship, I would just throw my stuff in bags and boxes, and then I wouldn't like know where anything was, or it would take a long time to like find things again. So I was organizing my stuff and going through my things properly, right? And I found the 78 Degrees of Wisdom. Have you guys ever read that book before? I think the author's name is Rachel Pollack, I believe is her name. She breaks down all the tarot cards, the 78 tarot cards, in such a way. Um, I don't know. I don't have the right words, but I was studying the Strength card today because again, it's my hand stopped shaking, right? It's this energy of overcoming something, and the way I overcame this thing was I just had to face it, right? I just had to do the thing that I was scared to do. And I think for Divine Feminine, that's been happening a lot. You've had to just face the thing that you've been scared of. Some of us ran from this thing for weeks, months, and some of us even years, right? Leo energy strong with the Strength card. Remember, we're looking at Leo new moon. The Six of Pentacles comes out. So the Six of Pentacles is about rebalancing. Rebalancing. Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier. I'm so glad Spirit reminded me with the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is the card that in regular Rider Waite, it shows the man like giving out the pentacles to the people that have their hand out, right? So it's like something is being rebalanced right now. So Divine Feminine, if you've been feeling a lack energy, or like you've been struggling, or you're really feeling tested, on resources, I feel like that recently has changed, right? It's shifted, and it is because you made room. You broke free from the things that were no longer serving your greater good, and you started following your spiritual guidance. That's what's bringing the calmer waters. That's what's bringing that internal peace. The hand stopped shaking, right? So, Six of Pentacles, the balance coming in. There's this person that I watch on TikTok. Help me out, Spirit. I can't remember anybody's name. Believe me not. Believe me not. So BELIEFMENOT. Believe me not. He's on TikTok, and he teaches a lot of Gnostic teachings. But there was something he said today that really like it rang so true. Um, and it was this thing that he said that he was talking about like the different dimensions and the 3D and the 4D and the 5D, and there's all kinds of different beliefs to everything, right? So I'm not saying like I believe everything that somebody else says or anything like that. I honestly genuinely just believe what Spirit tells me, and he's never been wrong, so that's what I go with, right? But he's talking, and he says something about it was never about us ascending and going to another place. It was never about that. It's never about moving like through the 3D, 4D, 5D and going to another place. It was always about us meeting Spirit halfway. We're co-creators. Spirit comes down a little and we rise a little, right? And that's the energy I'm getting for Divine Feminine. All right. Solitude and silence, peace prevails was the bridging energy. Again, it tried to come out in reverse. All I'm going to say about that is I have felt the energy strongly. And it feels weird to say that in my own awakening, in my own journey. It's never been wrong before. But this is the first time that I am sitting still. Normally, when I feel this remerging of the divine masculine, and we're going to talk more about that tomorrow, guys, I have a live scheduled for noon. I do intend on keeping that schedule. Um, but normally, when I feel this energy, um, I am impatient and I question it and I have doubt. And so it's like I just have to go do it myself and then have like confirmation, right? And so this time I'm literally being forced to just sit with it, um, have faith, and put all the focus or the energies, I guess, on me, which has been challenging to say the least. Divine timing says I've been scared to let go of control. It's not about not getting a second job. It's not about not working. It's about finding a way to connect your purpose with your everyday life. All right, so we have Six of Cups, confirmations. Oh my God. So we all know Six of Cups is reunion energy, someone from your past. It's also nostalgia. This is on the bridging energy. So in the time of solitude, in the time that we've been spending, um, probably in separation, physical separation, of course, um, there's been a lot of that energy. Three of Pentacles is here as well. Three of Pentacles is teamwork. So it's just giving me this energy of it's happening on both sides. And then, of course, there is a tower. I studied the tower card today as well. I love that all these are cards. I mean, there's 78 cards. I probably studied a handful of them today, maybe 3 or 4. So I feel like it's funny that they're all coming out. So I get this opportunity to talk about what I learned, right? In the tower, it shows the people like the lightning bolt hitting the tower and the people jumping out, and they seem such like they're in such shock and just distraught, and they don't know what's happening, and it's like, oh my God, I got to jump out of this tower because it's in flames because it's been hit by this lightning bolt, right? You guys know the tower card. The interesting thing that I learned about in that book I was talking about, 78 Degrees of Wisdom, about the tower is that the tower is never anything that you don't see coming. You saw it coming, you felt it coming, you were scared of it, whatever it is. The tower always represents fear. You had fear of this thing. And so the lightning bolt that is hitting the tower in the tower card represents, I don't know how to say it. I want to say it represents spirit stepping in. So all major arcanas are spirit. Okay, all major arcanas in tarot are divinely fated energies. Okay, but the lightning bolt in the tower card represents you knew you didn't remove the obstacle, so I had to remove it for you. And that's coming out on top of the Six of Cups, which is reunion, and the Three of Pentacles, which is working together. Remember, on this specific type of spiritual awakening journey, there is a great purpose. There is a reason that all of this happened to us. There is something that we're supposed to be doing. And the interesting thing that I've learned myself on this journey is, one, we're doing it whether we realize it's happening or not. And two, we're doing it together, whether we're in physical separation or not. All right. Let's do some messages. So I pulled out the OGs. Let's do 3 from Divine Masculine to Divine Feminine. First one flies out. Keep following your intuition. So big confirmation on what I was just saying. It's crazy to me that I say I still have doubt, but I see all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know. I don't know what to say because in my physical reality, so much has gone astray that I just, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Proud of everything you're doing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing is one of my personal favorites. It's something that is very specific to my own personal journey. Vanessa says, the tower has hit me a few times when I've been stuck and didn't know what to do. Yes, and what's interesting is that we fear, whatever it is we fear, once we face it, it's like it wasn't even that bad and it removes the obstacle and we're able to get like past it, right? And get to the thing that we wanted. So it's funny how fear just seems like such a big scary monster until it's just something that we face, whether we do that from choice or we do that from tower moments because spirit says, you know, you waited too long, so now you're gonna face it, right? I'm so finding all the ones across my screen super interesting. It is 11111. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I doubt myself comes out as well. That's divine masculine to divine feminine. I doubt myself literally every waking second, right? Especially when it comes to this journey. The interesting part is like in other aspects of my life, I don't struggle with doubt probably as much as I should, right? I should probably question things more often. But when it comes to my twin flame journey, it's like the doubt is endless, endless. All right. Divine feminine to divine masculine. I know in my heart I would have never done any of this without you. That is factual. I can feel when you are sad. That is also factual. And don't pretend like you don't know. I can't remember where that's from. Don't pretend like you don't know. Guys, the OG cards come from my own journey. This is a newer card. I can tell just by the color. And it's not as worn. Don't pretend like you don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember what we were talking about. What that would have been about. Block me then is on the bottom. I unfortunately um, I unblocked for a little while. I got some courage in me for a little bit, and then I chickened back out and blocked everything again. So, right, somebody is watching you always. Amanda says everything you've spoken on has been spot on tonight. I love it. Thank you for the confirmation, Amanda. All right, let's pull some guidance and then we'll do some Leo new moon energy. Somebody really is watching me, Sandra, though, because the cabin next to me is probably like, what is she doing? What's she doing out there? All right, so the pride card comes out. It did come out in reverse. It says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. It's interesting when you get to that part of your spiritual awakening journey and you realize that we're all one. And the people that hurt you the most are just another version of you. Like when you realize that, it is, to say it's humbling is an understatement. And that's why, I think that's why, if you look at all the different religions, I've studied a lot of religions, guys. But if you look at all of them, they all pretty much say the same thing. They all say to love one another, to treat people how you want to be treated, right? And I just think that's so interesting once you realize like why that is. All right, imagination also comes out. I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. The worry card comes out. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. That's factual. And last card, are you ready? It's the fear card. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And that literally wraps up this entire reading. It wraps up this entire day for me. It wraps up my entire spiritual awakening journey, honestly. I'm going to read it one more time. The fear card. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Um, when I had my spiritual awakening, again, remember a breakdown of the mind, let's call it what it is. When I had my awakening, I lived in fear. I lived in fear all the time, every day. I thought I had to be in a relationship with a man. I thought that um, was gonna die every single day. I was worried about my health and everything. Like I was scared every day, all the time. I had such extreme anxiety that I couldn't drive. Um, I don't know how to explain all of this, but my awakening has given me the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to face literally everything that I was scared of. It's very possible that's what this new moon is going to do for the collective, right? All right, guys, I'm ready. Leo, new moon readings. Let me know if anyone is interested. Let me know in the chat. Guys, we're definitely ahead. We're going to talk more about the Leo new moon as it gets closer, because we're always a week ahead. So if you're trying to like check my accuracy or you want to know what's happening this week, all of that stuff is already posted over on my YouTube channel. But we're looking a week ahead, and Leo new moon comes at the end of the week, right? So we're a good, like, I don't know, 10 or so days out. So definitely giving us an opportunity to connect with these themes, right? With these energies and harvest this energy before the Leo new moon gets here. All right, I'm going to start with divine timing. And I'm going to use the tarot tonight. I'm going to use the same ones I was just using. Magic of the Unicorn. This is a tarot set that Sandra gifted me. I want to say the last time I went to Missouri. And I just want to say, now that my car is fixed, it's taken me forever, guys. Everything seems to be taking me forever. But it was a struggle. It was a struggle to get all the things that were needed. And if I had to pay somebody, you know what I'm saying, to fix this car, like there is no way, no how I'd still be sitting on the side of the road somewhere, right? Like thank God for my son. And he's been like, I've always known that he was mechanically inclined, right? This is my youngest son, the one that like takes everything apart. In our house, we used to take everything apart, rarely put it back together. But I mean, it was always because like he wanted to know how something works, right? So yeah, like he fixes my car in a short period of time every time. It baffles me. It just shocks me. But now that I'm, back on my wheels here, I don't know, Sandra. Maybe we need to plan a trip, right? I know I want to go see sister, and I want to get my camera. So that's definitely needs to get into the works. All right, divine timing. Let's see what spirit has to say. Leo, new moon. Four of Pentacles comes out. Ace of Wands comes out, and Ten of Wands comes out. Ace of Pentacles is on the bottom. This is all about a new start, a new beginning. It could have something to do with finances, most definitely. Um, so Four of Pentacles says you're holding on to something too tightly. And when we hold on to things too tightly, we cause restrictions. We cause things to not flow easily. Ace of Wands is fate and destiny, and Ten of Wands is heavy burdens, heavy weight on your shoulder. When you see the Ten of Wands, it's supposed to represent that you're supposed to let your burdens go. Like you're supposed to release your burdens, give them to spirit. You're supposed to have faith that things will work out, right? You're not able to do that, and you're not able to do that because there's something you're holding on to tightly. Again, this could be a person, a place, a thing, or maybe a belief system, something that you believe wholeheartedly. Like that Pisces hanged man card. Like, I can't make a move. So I'm just going to stay frozen because if I make a move, then I'm going to lose something, whether it's finances, resources, or whatever. For me, it was having to let go of a full time job that paid me very well to put all my faith into PLR, to believe that you guys would still need readings and would, download my journals and would, book one-on-ones. It was definitely scary, right? It was something that I had to like just do. I don't know how to explain that. And the whole time I had spirit telling me like, you're not going to go without anything. And I mean, if I'm 100% honest here, I haven't gone without anything. Have times have things been challenging? Like, yeah, there were times where I was like, oh my God, what is happening? But did they always pass? Did spirit always come through? Yes, 100%, right? So divine timing, there's something that you're holding on to, and most likely it's because of your faith. That's why you're carrying these burdens. That's why you're not able to like release the burdens, because you don't have the faith that spirit will pick them up, right? So the Ace of Wands is like fate and destiny. And with Leo new moon energy, this is telling me that there's something that you release with this new moon. It allows you to align to purpose. Remember, fate, destiny, Ace of Wands. And then you're able to have faith in something that's going to take all of that weight off of your shoulders, all of this energy of feeling like you have to do something or everything is on you for it to get done. All right. I pulled a sacred traveler for guidance. Uncovering treasure beneath the surface lies a great bounty. And it shows the picture of the dragon, that's like, it's looking down at this treasure chest. So beneath the surface lies a great bounty. Um, something, something underneath, right? Like that's where you're going to find your abundance. That's where you find your fortune. All right, I hope that was helpful. All right, let's do Vanessa next. Guys, the storm has blown through. And now the peace is back on the lake. I can hear the crickets. How interesting that storm was. All right, Vanessa. Thank you, Divine Timing. Thank you. All right, let's see what comes out. Leo, new moon for Vanessa. You need to know about the new moon. And guys, remember, we feel these energies. I feel them way early. I feel like there's a reason for that. It's so I can come out here and talk to you guys about it. If you feel like, and most of you are going to feel this way, but if you feel like you're some type of, I don't like the labels. I'm not a fan of the labels. But if you feel like you're some type of like spiritual, like a person that people come to, right? Um, about spirituality, or like if you're that person in your friend circle where you are in your location, right? Then you probably feel all of these energies early as well. Again, it's going to be a reason for that. All right. Five of Swords comes out. Vanessa, this could be negative thoughts, disagreements, arguments in the mind, telling yourself that you can't have something or some victory. It could have something to do about a victory, like you won't win something or you won't have some type of big win. Right. We also have the High Priestess. The High Priestess talks about an inner knowing. And we have the Seven of Wands, protection. We have the moon on the bottom. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about it. I didn't want to have to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. I don't know who it is, Vanessa. It doesn't really, the who doesn't matter, okay? But when I seen that Five of Swords, I immediately ran to the safe meaning of it's in the mind, right? Because nobody likes to hear, oh, you're having arguments and disagreements with somebody. But you're actually having like physical disagreements with someone that's around you. I actually got a little more than that. Here's something that happened when I turned the Five of Swords over. I actually just had this conversation with someone as well. Like I was just talking about this memory that I had. When I had my spiritual awakening, when most of us have our spiritual awakening, um, it happens when we're having karmic ties, right? Which means that we're connected to something that is karmic. It means that our soul is stuck in some type of karmic loop, right? And then something happens to shake our foundation, and then that's our spiritual awakening, okay? Um, when I was breaking free from my karmic thing that I was tied to, right? Which just happens to be the person I was married to for a very long time. Um, there was something he said to me that really like stuck to me, and it still like eats at me like a lot. Um, and again, I was just talking to someone very dear to me about this situation. Um, but this person, when I was kind of like when I was standing up for myself, and I was like, I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm breaking this cycle. I want you gone, and I filed for divorce. I did all the things. Um, he looked at me and he said, "You're never going to be able to do this on your own." And those were his words, literally. And by do this, he just meant life in general, right? So whenever I would have like some type of hiccup, or whenever I would be trying to like financially do something on my own, which was, not very often, because that's why I would stay in a relationship, right? Because I had this fear that I couldn't do this on my own, that I wouldn't be able to like financially take care of myself. I had been married, my whole life, literally. So it's like, not literally, but you know what I mean. But so it was like, it's just something that really stuck with me, and it caused me a lot of PTSD. It caused me a lot of fear. It caused me to not trust myself, to be able to even, do certain things. And so when I turned the Five of Swords over, I wanted to immediately say, like, this is you. You're just, it's negative thinking. And the Five of Swords is negative thinking. But I feel like there's actually someone around you, Vanessa, that's telling you that you can't do it, or that you won't be able to do something on your own. The interesting part is, if you're having this type of awakening like I am, the High Priestess represents an inner knowing. We've had the inner knowing since the beginning of our awakening. We had the inner knowing when we were in dark night of the soul and we were giving up on life, and God reached down there and took our hand and pulled us out of that pit. Like, we've had an inner knowing since that day, right? So regardless of what someone says to you or what people around you think, you have some type of inner knowing. And this Leo new moon may give you some type of confirmation on why you had to protect something. Seven of Wands is healthy boundaries and protecting something of yours, something that you created, something that you birthed, something that you brought into this existence, right? So you've been protecting that because you've had some type of inner knowing. So that's what I feel. The moon card, let's talk about that. Again, another card that just today, like I just read the chapter on the moon today. When you look at the moon, um, there's, you always see like the wolf and the dog underneath the full moon. The moon is Cancer energy, it's also Pisces energy, but it represents emotions. And the dog represents the animal in us. The wolf represents the like savageness in us, right? There's this crayfish that's on the moon card, and you'll notice that the dog and the wolf are always on the land, and the crayfish is always in the water on the moon card. It never actually leaves the water. The crayfish represents your deepest internal fear. And it talks about how this fear pops its ugly head out at certain times, and how sometimes you have to find that primal animal within yourself to face that thing that you fear the most. That's going to be Leo new moon. All right, sacred traveler for guidance, impasse. So you're at some type of brick wall. In other words, you can't keep going the way you were going. You're going to have to redirect in some way. It says reflect and redirect your energy. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Hope that was helpful. All right, Jenna is next. Thank you, Vanessa. All right, Jenna, the chariot comes out. The victory is already yours. The win is already yours. You've done something with your emotions. You've tapped into something that has allowed you to do something to your emotions. So for me, in my personal journey, I am learning to protect my peace. I didn't know what that meant for the longest time. Um, I'm learning that peace is what helps me get through the challenges of life. Um, I'm learning that emotions are tools, right? And those tools can be useful when used properly, right? So I feel like it's very possible that you could relate to that. You're learning to control your fears, you're learning to control your anxieties, you're learning to find moments of joy. Um, they're sticking out to you more. It's like they're illuminated. You're learning to be more present so that you can experience more of them. The Ten of Wands comes out. You let go of something. So there was something that was like really stressing you out or causing you like a lot of burdens, and I feel like you thought you were coming up with all these, like, I'm seeing like all these different solutions or answers, and it's like you, instead of trying to figure out like what was the right thing to do, it's like you just kind of released, you let it go. And what's happening is it's not that you're not doing nothing, it's that you're paying attention to like the signs and where spirit is like opening the doors for you. So if the door is locked, you're not sitting there beating on the door trying to fight it anymore. You're just going on to the next door or waiting until another opportunity comes in. Two of Pentacles is here, and it does talk about like finding your footing, getting your grounding. And it's interesting because it's also the card that talks about like lack energy, not having enough of something, or feeling like you don't have enough of something. It also shows the ships like in the turbulent waves behind the unicorn. But the unicorn is like he's dancing. It's like he's in this energy of joy, happiness, peace. It's almost like the same thing. Like you're seeing the test, just like I said at the beginning. For me, it's like I'm seeing the test as an opportunity. Like, oh, the internet is going to be difficult, or I'm going to have technical difficulties. It's okay. This is an opportunity for me to go to the lake. This is an opportunity for me to overcome this in this way. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like that's kind of what is happening to you, is you're finding your rhythm in the everyday. And I don't think it's like, I don't want to say like the mundane, because there's a lot happening. The energy is picking up speed. But instead of having this feeling like I can't keep up or I don't have enough of something, you're just going like at your own pace, like at the pace that spirit guides you towards. Again, if the door opens, you go through. If the door doesn't, you don't. Ace of Cups is on the bottom, getting control of your emotions. All right, guidance. Journey by Moonlight. Believe in magic. I have a shirt. I have a shirt. Believe in magic. I went through and picked the merch that I'm gonna keep, because some of the merch is gonna go away, guys. There's some that it's just, I don't know, it's outdated and it's not something that I use anymore. So I'm gonna remove some of it, but the Believe in Magic is on some of our merch, and I'm definitely keeping that. All right. Is that it, guys? Did I hit all of them? I don't want to miss anybody. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me. Let me know really quickly because I want to wrap it up. Please remember, we are going to look at divine masculine energy tomorrow. I have it scheduled for noon. I don't know where I'll be, but we'll go live regardless, wherever, right? We're going to look at divine masculine Celtic cross reading. I've actually been trying to put this reading out for I want to say 3 weeks now. I could be wrong about that. It might have been 4 weeks. It's been a minute. But each time something's happened, it's gotten postponed. I've had to push it back for like, excuse me, whatever reason. And I think it has something to do with the divine timing. So yeah, I know that we're doing it tomorrow for sure. So if you want to join me tomorrow at noon, please do so. If you happen to be busy and you can't catch me live, I completely understand. Just make sure to come back and watch the replay, right? I will be back Thursday night, 8 p.m., and we will do all 12 signs for the Leo new moon. And guys, I do want to mention we had a very special live over on Facebook. You can still find that live. I believe it stays on our Facebook for 30 days before Facebook will take it down, where we talked about mediumship and how to strengthen your own abilities and skills. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can find that over on my Facebook page. Links are always in the description box. Guys, those of you that got new journals this week, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am working on more prompts that I would like to add to the journals that we already have out there. I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create files that have more advanced prompts, right, as we move through our shadow work, right? But yes, for those of you that downloaded journals this week, thank you guys so very much. Last thing I'm being told to say, for those of you that are struggling with your daily practices, your daily routine, for those of you that feel that Saturn in Aries is kicking your butts, because you're struggling with time management, self-discipline, whatever it is, if you go over to my website, guys, my PLR website, I have a completely free download called the Daily Wellness Journal. And that daily wellness journal is one sheet, very small download. You can put it on your phone and it can help you get into alignment, guys. Again, completely free. All right, that's it. That's all I need to talk about. I appreciate you guys coming in and participating. Thank you guys so very, very much. I'm always, always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. See you guys tomorrow at noon. Thanks.